what do you have to lose? Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Recovery Classroom. My name is Drew. I am a recovering alcoholic. I'm still sober, and I'm still enjoying each and every single day. My friends who know me know that I love Civil War history, and I will talk to you about Civil War history all day long. We'll try to do really good here today. As I shared about a week ago, how July the 5th, 2021, my best friend is on the phone with me, and he's telling me, he's like, Drew, he said, I've never seen you this bad. He said, I will pay to take you wherever on this planet you got to go to get your head straight, but you got to be sober. There's only one place on this planet that my head has ever balanced, and that's my happy place. It's called Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. It's a Civil War town. It played a significant role in the Civil War altogether. It's located in southeastern Pennsylvania. And so in my mind, I remember telling my friend, I said, okay, I'll get sober and we'll go to Gettysburg. In my mind, though, this is how sick I was. I remember thinking I'll plan the trip out close enough to July the 5th, 2021. That way I can get sober, stay sober, go to Gettysburg, enjoy Gettysburg, and then come back home and pick right back up where I left off with my drinking. That way I didn't have to be sober that long. Think about that for a second. That's how sick I was. But I went ahead and got sober, and I've been sharing about what the first few weeks of my recovery looks like. And about this time, it was actually about this time 5 years ago, I'm standing on a mountain in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and I'm looking out over the field and looking at the Devil's Den area, and I see this path. I see this path going down the mountain. Now, I've never been on the face of the mountain. I've never went down or walked up that particular mountain, and I've been to almost every single area in Gettysburg except for this area. And I looked down, and I noticed what looked like a path. So I said, well, shit, I've never been down there. I've never been on that part of the hillside. I started down that path. Now, at the end of that, towards the end of that path, there's a bunch of brush and weeds and overgrown rocks and stuff like that. I couldn't really see. I was like, wow, okay, this is cool. This is cool. I've never been on this actual location of the mountain. This is cool. I've come far enough. And I was like, well, wait a minute. Maybe I can go a little further. Maybe there is something. I don't know what's in those weeds and stuff. Maybe there's snakes. I don't know. Let me go ahead and try it. And sure enough, I went through those weeds, went through that brush, and there's another path, another little trail. I was like, holy crap, I've truly never been here. This is exciting. And let me go to as far as I can. And that way I could say I've been here. And I made it to the end of that little trail, that next little trail. And sure enough, more brush, more weeds, more grass, more unseen, more unknown. I was like, you know what? I've come far enough. I could turn around. I remember I turned around and I looked back up where I came from, and I was like, shit, it looks a lot more dangerous to go back than what it looks going forward, going downhill, having the wind at my back. Looks a lot more dangerous. Maybe, I don't know what's in that brush. I don't know what's on the other side. There could be a cliff for all I know. Maybe it's safer if I go that way. And I realized at that moment, that was the story of my life. See, I'd done so many things to try to stop drinking. I'd done so many things, try to accomplish so many things in my life, period. I would get a good start at something, and then I would stop. I'd rest on my laurels. I'd look back and say, you know what? I've never been to this part. I've done good. I've never been this far in my life. This is cool. I don't need to go any further. I've already come far enough. I've already come far enough. And that's true for my sobriety. All the effort, all the attempts that I made in getting myself clean and sober in the past, I'd get a week in and go, I'm doing good. You know what? I can go back. What I failed to realize, and I didn't realize until that day standing on the mountainside in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, well, sometimes going back was a lot more dangerous to me than just taking that leap of faith, taking that step of faith, walking through into that unknown, and taking that chance. That's faith. That's what faith is after all. And it's so poignant because, again, I can look back to my own personal experience and see so many times when I would get so far, I'd get 6 months in and go, oh no, I'm good. I can stop. I could go back to where I started from. Why would we ever want to do that? I mean, after all, we come into recovery typically because, you know, we're about to lose something. We're about to lose our house or a family or a job, our kids, whatever. And that's why we come into recovery. Why? If that's what brought us into recovery, why would we stop? Why would we stop? And I know people that, they're a couple months in, they go, oh, I'm doing good. I can start going out to the bars. I can start hanging out with these people that are still actively using drugs. Why would we do it? Why would we want to go backwards? And it brings me home to the point anyway of what do you have to lose? What's one more day? And I go back to what Chad always tells me. What's one more day? I'm 5 years in. What's one more day of me being clean and sober? You're 2 months in, 3 weeks in, 4 years in. What's one more day? What do you have to lose that you wouldn't have already lost had you not come into sobriety? Don't turn around and look back and go, you know what? I think I've come far enough. Let me go back to the old way. Why would we do that? Because then we'd go back to jeopardizing that very thing that brought us into recovery in the first place. What do you have to lose? What's one more day of being clean and sober going to, how is one more day going to negatively and adversely affect your life? It's not. Matter of fact, if you do go back, that's what's going to be able to negatively and adversely affect your life. So with that being said, I'm way over time. Thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. You guys absolutely keep me sober, and I could not be any more appreciative. We'll be talking again soon. Remember, guys, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.